in the first matchup, we had a lot of rogues. And this time, well, we're going to see a handlock once again. That's not surprising. A lot of handlocks. And there is a control warrior. So I would say slight advantage for Nexus here.
As a control warrior,
Yeah.
he can clear a lot of giants. He needs to get good draws. So far, he has a Whirlwind, a Zoodrake. He would love this hand against the Shaman.
So with that hand, he's actually not that good against a handlock. You can slam those giants and hope for an execute, but you really want to start with a shield slam, execute, maybe an armor smith just to have it out. Acolyte of Pain is good. That's actually the first good thing he draws here. Next turn he can draw some cards with Whirlwind, even with Slam if he slams his own minion, but he needs that. Especially if you see a Twilight Drake and a Mountain Giant in Zephyr's hand. This is going to be so annoying.
Yeah, he was considering coining out the Twilight Drake, but knows it's not that valuable.
Fiery Fury Warx, that's okay, but you really need those cards to get rid of the Twilight Drake or the Mountain Giant next turn. If he draws a big Game Hunter now, just perfect. But if there's a Twilight Drake coming, he needs an execute. 4/9 minion.
Yeah, how is he going?
Well, there's an execute. Where's the problem? Just Whirlwind execute, armor up even further. That looks good now for Nexus. And he gets a brawl. Well, a brawl could be worse. If there are 3 minions on the board, you can brawl, but you kind of want to keep the brawl for the 10 HP. If he drops on 10 HP and goes double Molten Giant Taunter, you brawl and hope for the Taunter to survive.
He wants a shield slam now. Second Shadow Flame.
So
Not that valuable against the control warrior.
he can draw one more card, Faceless Manipulator, but he needs to draw the card first. So he can Slam draw a card, he can Whirlwind draw a card. There are actually some options to get cards here. Or he draws a card like that, but that surprises me. If he now he cannot Whirlwind. I wouldn't have gone for that.
Or Whirlwind first.
Yeah, Whirlwind first and then just go for the card draw first. Now he loses his stuff on the board, gets another slam, even a 3 damage slam, but still, he just took 8 damage and lost all his armor. If there's a shield slam upcoming soon, that would hurt a lot. Well, at least no shield slam, so no regrets here. He can double slam Whirlwind attack, but you don't want to use all those cards to get rid of your enemy's minion.
Well, yes, too.
Shield block, but if you shield block and if he shield blocks and gets the shield slam, that's not enough to get your enemy killed. So, slam again.
Faces now would be crazy.
Yeah, if you face this now, you should have done it before. Black Knight, whoa, that could get useful next turn. It's 7 mana, so we might see Urzan Ring Farseer press Taunt up or not, since he used what we said, double slam plus Whirlwind. In theory, he lost 3 cards, but he drew 2. It's okay, but not perfect for him.
Can just go for Sunfury.
Would you go for the heal and taunt up both, or just taunt up the Ancient Watcher?
No, taunt up both.
We coined here to drain life and then go Defend of Argus, maybe?
Doesn't need to. He has 9 cards on his hand.
But I would have used those 4 mana. I mean, it's turn 8, you're down to 18. There could be some crazy stuff coming. So Grimash in a rage, it would hurt. Unlikely to happen. There's his Shield Slam. If he brings him down... So next turn, we might see Grimash, and Grimash getting Shield Slam by your own Shield Slam, going to 10, 13 damage, 17 damage is possible for Nexus next turn if he really wants to do it. Well, that Iron Beak Owl is super strong. Last card, or even he even has 2. And now Nexus needs a Whirlwind again.
Well, will we see a Defender of Argus? That's the question.
Now, I would have used some more mana, but he doesn't want to commit too much. There is a Brawl still waiting for him. I still don't know. I guess I would have Argus here to just make myself whirlwind proof.
He can. How much armor does he have? 5? He could shield slam the Watcher, attack the 2-1, and go for Ragnaros. Just drop him down to 10.
Drop him down to 10, but we know that would be devastating since there's the Molten Giant in his hand.
It's fine.
But if it gets taunted, you get your Black Knight. So that move could turn out super good. If he plays Alex, Alex will get Siphon Sold, so that hurts. I guess what you said makes the most sense. Just clear the board here perfectly. He can clear the board perfectly like that too. The thing is, why doesn't he play Ragnaros? He kind of wants to play Ragnaros when there's an 8/8 on the board. So if your enemy drops a Mountain Giant, you play Ragnaros and you press your thumbs and pray to the Lord that it actually hits him. And going for Alexstrasza is the least optimum play, I would say. He brings him down to 15.
You know, Siphon Soul might be incoming.
Well, with a Taskmaster, he could deal 15 damage next turn, but he doesn't. So one Siphon Soul should be expected. The annoying thing for Zephyr is he's close to play his Molten Giant for only 3 if he drains once more, but he needs to Siphon Soul here. As you said, he really needs to do it.
He could go Power Overwhelming Soulfire.
He could go Power Overwhelming double Argus to make his minion up to an 8 attack. That would just be super crazy.
And stupid.
And stupid. So we don't like super crazy and stupid moves. He brings him down to 19, and that's already a good thing. And no armor left. He has a shield slam, but he cannot use it, and one shield block is gone. This is looking rather rough for Nexus. But if that hits him in the face, it would bring him down to 13. That's already a good number if you're having your Grimash in hand. So he's down to 13, and the amazing thing is he has a Black Knight in his hand, so he can kill the next Mountain Giant, Molten Giant.
I would play the Mountain.
Well, he can play both now still, and the Sunfury Protector. It didn't change a thing. The only thing that changed is
he's gonna go Power Overwhelming Soulfire, I guess.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
We're going to see Armorsmith Brawl, and as I heard Kit Katsy saying, the father of Control Warrior, Armorsmith never loses a brawl. He said it. I think Deck Wars or Tavern Takeover. He said something like that, and then in the end, his Armorsmith lost a brawl.
Wow, he has 12 damage, 1 short of lethal.
But I would have played my Armorsmith first.
Yeah.
Just see what happens. And even so,
he wants to execute it.
Well, he could have just shield slammed executed anyway if he plays his Armorsmith first. So it wouldn't have changed a thing. In the end.
True.
I would have just taken the risk with your Armorsmith. Well, there's no risk. You could have just done it. It wouldn't make a difference. Next turn, he can shield slam his own Grimash to deal the damage.
This looks really good for Nexus.
This looks good for Nexus and bad for Zephyr since he lost his stuff. He might have 2 Taunters in his hand, but well, what are 2 Taunters for use if you don't have anything to taunt up? So you could just drop him now. Wow, that was risky, but okay. Still, we know a Black Knight for Nexus, so he's just gonna instantly delete that minion from and a Taskmaster. So next turn he wins at the moment.
Can just shield slam, and he should.
Yeah, I would shield slam away the 2/3 before he taunts it up with something, but it still doesn't matter even if he taunts it up.
Black Knight
can kill it, and well, this looks extremely good for Nexus here. Might we see an eEriness player winning once again the first game?
We will.
Oh, this is okay. So it's a 5/5 and a 3/4. Well, he needs to get rid of that first now before he drops his stuff. But as we see, Faceless Manipulator on the 5/5, and then snipe it away with the Shield Slam and clear away the 3/4. Even play your Armorsmith first, you get more and more armor, and that's just going to be a win for Nexus. Just really small misplays by him.
He lost out on 1 mana.
Yeah, one.
One armor.
He
not
could have
mana.
gotten one more armor. There wasn't even a reason to not play, even if your enemy is going power overwhelming Shadow Flame. Well, he played one power overwhelming already, but even if he goes for something like that, it would still give you so much armor that it would be an okay play. Well, that was nicely played by Zephyr. He just draws.
Still that.
Yep. He just deletes everything from the board, but Grimash, Taskmaster is coming, and that's the play how you want to win as a control warrior. And it's good to see a control warrior getting played and winning again. It's a nice deck, especially against all those. Shaman, sometimes slight advantage with all those totems.
Well, we saw Azure Drake Whirlwind. I would go for Shaman.
Well, you say you saw Azure Drake Whirlwind and you want to go for Shaman because you saw it? That makes no sense at all. You want
No, we saw that's a potential combo, but I still think since we also saw a Black Knight that's good against Alaki and the Spirit Wolves, but Druid has way more taunts. In general, I think Control Warrior is extremely strong against all those big minions. And if it's a Token Druid, I would go for the Token Druid. If it's a normal Ramp Druid, I would go for the Shaman.
Oh, maybe it's not a normal Ramp Druid, it's a more mid-rangier version with Harvest Golems, Yetis, whatever.
And it's fine.
The Rushy version with Savage Roar and Karin actually. So that's a good version to play against a Control Warrior. But we see this time a better draw for Nexus. He already has an Execute, so if we see some crazy innovate stuff, he can execute that minion away. And he has a Shield Block plus Azure Drake. So some good draws here for him. But also, Zephyr already has a big Game Hunter for the late game, roaming around just waiting to drop here.
Yeah, a lot of potential options.
There it is, we were talking about. Next turn, he can just innovate, coin out Karin.
It's crazy. But did we see that Nexus in the first game? Did he throw away a spell? What it's called? The 4/3 minion. That silences.
The Spellbreaker.
Spellbreaker, not Spellbinder.
I haven't seen a Spellbreaker by now.
We did see one.
Yeah,
Wasn't
but
played.
that was another warrior, if I'm not sure, or what did this?
I am not sure.
Well, this happens when you're casting quite long. You keep forgetting how many cards were played when, especially if you have mirror matchups. You're getting crazy and old. So there we see Nexus trading with the minion, and this is extremely good for him. Next turn, he can trade. Okay, I wanted to say he can trade here, but I think that's a waste of your Shield Slam and no need to do it actually. As we see for Zephyr now, he can just clear the whole board if he wants to. He doesn't even need, but he can. That's even better. He plays the White Rose, and next turn he can just drop a Karin.
Keeps his innovate, keeps his coin.
Can he coin innovate a scenarios next turn?
Yes, he could.
And that would be hilarious to see. But not against an Azure Drake. As you said, we saw the Azure Drake Whirlwind, and you really don't want to play scenarios into Azure Drake Whirlwind.
Karin?
But Karin, so
I think I would have preferred Swipe Breath.
Swipe Rast? Well, I would have swiped your ability, not Rast. You still have good cards in your hand. You don't need to waste your Rast here. Well, he slams, he trades. That's good. Are you going to Whirlwind attack with your Azure Drake?
But then play the Echolot.
Well, he just executes. But
interesting. To use an execute?
Well, it's okay, but it's just a Karin. So I might... It would be okay to just run in your Azure Drake. That was a tricky one. Well, board is clear. Raz incoming plus Druid of the Claw maybe. So
he could also just innovate out scenarios. Because would you expect that there's another Whirlwind Execute on the hand of a Control Warrior with 4 cards? I wouldn't.
Yeah, but when I have the option to kill a minion easy, I wouldn't take the risk of getting my big minion out with leaving enemy minion on the board. So he could kill it easy mode with a Raz and still drop a minion. And I think that's better than just going blindly for your big minions yourself. If there's something like this coming with a shield block, that's just devastating. With a shield slam, that's just devastating for you. Now your minion dies, and
Both whirlwinds are gone.
Yeah, but board is clear, and you can just coin out your scenarios if you want to. If you're getting an Ancient of Lore, you're obviously going to play that. But this time, it's the good idea to get your scenarios running with 2 totems. Well, I'm already saying totems, with 2 trees.
Trains.
But it hurts if that Ragnaros hits scenarios now, and that's 1 out of 3 chance. Well, as we know, Ragnaros is going to hit the face, that's for sure, and not scenarios.
Oh.
Wow, Nexus just hovered over it with his mouse. And this is extremely good for him. But Big Game Hunter will be incoming from Zephyr, just sniping away the Ragnaros. Still, the hand from Nexus is awesome. There is Alexstrasza next turn. There's Grimash just waiting to drop down. And Big Game Hunter's gone, as we know. It's going to be rough. I would say Alexstrasza is the thing to do here.
Yeah.
What else do you want to do? So you could play an Acolyte of Pain for some card draw. You could just drop Grimash, but why? Just why?
Shouldn't risk it.
Yeah, just drop Alexstrasza, and even if he plays a lot of stuff next turn, you can still brawl. Worst case scenario, brawl. And you deal how much damage? 7 damage. No, 8 damage now.
8 damage.
And that's some value for Alexstrasza.
Yep.
Okay, Ancient of Lore for Zephyr is a really nice draw, especially if you have Innervate in your hand. So you can draw 2 more cards and hope for some options. Well, he has options in his hands. If he wants to, he just runs in 2 of his minions or just swipes whatever to get Alexstrasza killed here.
Let's see. What does he get?
Azure
Keeper.
Well, Keeper also works. If he innovates it out, he can just do the 2 damage on Alexstrasza.
Swipe makes more sense because you keep the taunt, the 2/2.
And even though it's only a 2/2 taunt, it's a good taunt. It just prevents him from going crazy with Grimash. Well, those Azure Drakes are pretty useful in a control warrior, where they played to draw even more cards to get more options in your hand, and he gets Gorehowl. That's a crucial item for him to get rid of those 5/5s, 2/4s, 4/4s, CFS roaming around.
Let's see, what can Zephyr do? 2 Keeper.
Well, Azure Drake Raz is the more obvious play, I would say. The problem is if you go for this play, you cannot silence the... So silencing the Acolyte of Pain might have been cool to just diminish the card draw. Now he's going to draw 1 card, but 1 card is 1 card, and that can always be annoying.
Nice. Ragnaros.
This is going really good for Zephyr at the moment, and Nexus is just getting thrown back further and further.
I would have attacked first with
Yeah.
my Acolyte, just to get card draw, that's the first thing.
The brawl was okay to
Yeah.
do, but not drawing the card, that was just a slight misplay. That was just easy for him to draw the card. He wouldn't even get any disadvantage from that.
Nope.
Well, Zephyr has Ragnaros. He has Ragnaros. He has Innervate Keeper if he wants to. So he can deal 10 damage if he's willing, or just 9. But that's just crazy. Brings Nexus down to 11, and actually Nexus looked good. And now he might die next turn.
We're at 12 damage, 15 damage. That's not enough.
That's not enough, but if he just goes for it blindly...
Is he gonna trade into Ragnaros?
Nah, he cannot trade into Ragnaros. That would be crazy if you traded. You need to risk
Well,
it.
then it's...
Well, not necessarily. The Ragnar...
Yeah, it's not over, but really risky.
So we might see... Well, he can keeper away the 2/2, for example.
I think... What? He heals himself up?
It
I would kill the 2/2, silence Grimash, use my hero ability, attack him, and then go for the 50-50 win. I don't get that play.
Well, he's down to 3 HP, and now he has
It's
exactly enough damage to win here. So Nexus is going 2-0 against Zephyr, and that's the first game an eEriness player is winning in this match.